Hey gang, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and this has been a pretty crazy week for Animal Crossing New Horizons fans. First of all, we didn't get any information at E3 2021, and then Doug Bowser had to come out and basically reassure us that we will see new content sometime in the future. But a lot of us right now are wondering, what is the next update for Animal Crossing New Horizons gonna entail, when is it gonna come out, and what can we generally expect from future updates? Now, I know a lot of us are still wanting to see some really major content updates added to the game with some of the stuff we've been speculating about for ages, but I wanted to take a more sort of realistic and grounded approach to seeing what we could expect from the future updates of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, we do have pretty good evidence of when we can actually expect to see the next update for the game, and this will be sometime within late July or early August. And the reason for that, which I'm going to elaborate more on even later on in this video, is that the Fireworks Festival, a major event which happens, I believe, every Sunday in Animal Crossing New Horizons, currently is not programmed into the game. Basically, you could almost assume that the May or late April update, which brought back May Day and, the Museum Day, and then also the wedding season, was mostly added to the game because those events weren't actually programmed in. So it's basically a given that we're going to see some kind of update before that point, sometime in late July or August before they do the fireworks festivals, so that people can actually enjoy the events. There's absolutely no way they're not going to program them in for 2021. They're going to make sure people can play them. And of course, the same goes for the seasonal items which are in the game currently as well. Those aren't programmed in for the months ahead. So Nintendo actually has to do these updates. Of course, that doesn't guarantee that the updates are going to be anything significant. It could simply mean that the future updates that we get are simply seasonal updates where they bring back events, make some minor changes, and also add some new and returning seasonal items, which I know is something that people honestly aren't too happy with, but it does seem like the most likely course of action that they're going to go with. Of course, Nintendo could totally surprise us and come out with a massive update like we've really wanted, but we can generally assume that we're still going to see these smaller seasonal items and updates throughout the year. Now, it's a given that Nook Shopping is definitely going to receive more updates, and I do think we will see more items and new items added to this little menu, which is pretty cool. Now, I know for a lot of people, this kind of gets memed on a little bit, that adding a few new items every month isn't really much of an update, and I will agree with you guys, but personally, I do actually like seeing new items. Of course, I would rather see a bigger update with major content, but if we are going to get more items added, I would definitely like them to do that. I think adding seasonal items through the Nook Shopping menu seems to be something they really like to do at the moment. So I think it's safe to assume that within the future updates, we are going to see more seasonal items added. Even if they don't add any new ones, which I think would be very unrealistic to assume, they will definitely bring back the old ones because, as far as I know, they're not programmed in for this current year, and I don't think they're programmed in for 2022 either. So their update situation is really interesting at the moment because they've not programmed things for the years ahead. They kind of are forced to update the game in order to keep it running smoothly. Now, I know some people are probably thinking, well, Nintendo could just decide not to put this content in the game in the future, like they did with, I think it was the little Nook Mile Plus goals they had for Earth Day. That was something they didn't continue into this year. But in terms of major events like the fireworks events, Halloween, Turkey Day, which are all not programmed in, they're not going to leave those out. There's no way they will. So even if it's just a small update which brings those back and brings in the seasonal items that we're missing, you can definitely expect to see more updates like that within the future, and the next one will most likely be sometime in late July or August. Now, these are currently the events which are missing from Animal Crossing New Horizons in 2021. They are not programmed in. So first of all, we have the fireworks event, which I've mentioned quite a lot in this video. And like I said, it's basically a given that we're going to see an update to bring this back. We could see some fun adjustments for it. I definitely think that's possible. Though I do personally find it hard to imagine what they would change about this. If you guys remember the wedding season event, they didn't really change much about it at all. So it could be the case where they bring it back, but they don't actually update it. To be fair, they didn't update the events year to year in Animal Crossing New Leaf and previous games, so I never really expected them to update some of the events like they have. I think they did a pretty good job updating stuff like May Day this year, giving us a new tour and a new item to collect. I know it wasn't for everyone, but it still was a nice little change that I wasn't expecting. And of course, they did update Bunny Day a little bit too with some nice improvements, so that was great. And all the new items for that were fantastic too. I think they probably did their best job with updating Bunny Day in the March update, because they actually gave us quite a few new items to get, and they were all so much better than the items we got before. So if we could see those types of updates with new prizes and more reasons for players who have played last year to play these events again, I think that would go over pretty well. Of course, Halloween, Turkey Day, Toy Day, and Festival are also not in the game, and these ones will 100% have to be updated. The question is, will Nintendo decide to just do one sort of big update where they bring all of this back so it's programmed in and they can unlock it sort of in real time, or will they do a few updates through the rest of the year to bring these seasonal updates back? That's the question that's on my mind at the moment, because with the sort of May or April update, whatever you want to call it, which brought back May Day and the Museum Day, etc., that actually contains seasonal items for quite a few months ahead. Even though it came out in late April, it had content lasting all the way up until July, which is pretty crazy. So they could actually do an update in late July or August, yet putting content for Halloween, Turkey Day, Toy Day all updated, and just kind of unlock it in real time so they don't have to update the game every few months. It seemed like for a while earlier this year they were actually updating the game every single month. We got, of course, the 2 crossovers, Sanrio and Mario, so that's probably why we saw so many updates. But it seems like right now they don't want to just do that kind of thing where they're updating it every single month just to add in a few things. They want to do a kind of bulk update. Maybe they feel like that is better for players. And to be fair, it does make a lot of sense. Having to update your game often isn't ideal, but I think if we just saw one big update which brought back all this seasonal stuff and nothing really new, and that was it for the rest of the year, that definitely would disappoint people a lot. Of course, Doug Bowser did actually mention that we're likely to see new activities and new content, but that is incredibly vague, and honestly, who knows what that actually means. There are also a lot of glitches within this latest update. Some are actually pretty bad, like your villagers completely going missing, and some of the move-in glitches which are unusual. The others are just kind of fun, and of course we have the very famous glitch into water and objects glitch, which I know people don't want to see go. And it's very possible Nintendo could actually come out with some kind of patch within, July or maybe even later on in this month, purely to fix some of the glitches. They have done stuff like this before. Personally, I don't think they're going to, because none of these are game breaking. They'll probably just include the fixes for them within the next update. They do actually have pretty decent patch notes for Animal Crossing New Horizons. When they fix glitches, they usually do clarify this within their patch notes. So maybe when the next update does come out, I should actually go over all the different patch notes so you guys can get a really good idea of what they've actually changed. So I know right now a lot of people aren't wanting to see these smaller seasonal updates, but it does seem certain that we are going to see more of them throughout this year. I think Nintendo likes the idea of doing this to kind of give players who enjoyed the game last year more to do, and also new things for newer players to keep them enjoying the game as well. But I know so many of you want to see bigger content updates, and I'm definitely with you there, I do too, but I thought it'd be fun to take a look sort of more realistically at what they're likely to do for the next update and when it's going to come out. But what do you think in the comment section down below? Definitely let me know, and if you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. You can also support me by becoming a member of the Bob's Gang by clicking the join link in the video description.